This Week at Bungie is a weekly blog post posted by Bungie themselves, which updates us, the player base, about what's going on in Destiny 2. This week at Bungie, Bungie discusses quite a few things. The first thing they talk about is the Game Pass deal that is going on with Xbox on how you can get all of the Destiny DLCs, including Beyond Light. They also talk about the next date for the Iron Banner that's going to be coming up. They talk about a lot of technical changes that they're making behind the scenes in preparation for Beyond Light, some that are just kind of and some of which have a lot of promise to them. They also talk about how we have some upcoming details for Festival of the Lost that's going to be coming probably in the next TWAB, as well as showcasing a bunch of new Community Emblems that they're going to be introducing with the Beyond Light DLC for stuff like fashion shows, movie of the week, and everything like that. And then outside of the TWAB, we also have some information on when we'll be hearing more about Transmog coming to Destiny, as well as the next Prime Gaming bundle, which is out now. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into it, and let's jump into This Week at Bungie. So they start off their blog post with this. Earlier this week, Forsaken and Shadowkeep became available on Xbox Game Pass. With Beyond Light on the way, there's no better time to gear up and get acquainted with what's going on in the world of Destiny. A few housekeeping notes for Guardians who are being freshly rezzed in the Cosmodrome. You'll need to download Destiny 2 Forsaken and Shadowkeep to access the content, and without Destiny 2, you can't launch the game. For new Guardians joining our ranks through the Game Pass, we have a help article for you, and our help forums are also available. For those of you guys that don't know, Game Pass on September the 22nd has now implemented Shadowkeep, Forsaken, and Beyond Light whenever it comes out. So if you are an Xbox owner and you do have Game Pass, you will get all of the Destiny DLCs just right added to your game, just as long as you have Game Pass. So it's a pretty good deal. If you're on Xbox, definitely take advantage of it. Moving on from this, Bungie announces the next Iron Banner, and honestly, I'm kind of sick of Iron Banner, but if you're a newer player, you need some pinnacle gear, and you need some god rolls from the Iron Banner, you definitely should be playing it. They're going to be starting this Iron Banner on the 29th of this month, and it's going to be ending on the 6th of next month, which is also the start of the next Festival of the Lost. So go ahead and jump in there if you need some Iron Banner gear. Me personally, I'm probably going to be skipping out on this. Now, next on from this, Bungie basically has the meat and potatoes of the TWAB, which is called Talking Tech, Preparing for Beyond Light. So they start off and say, with Beyond Light on fast approach, it's time to shift our TWAB gears a little. Today we'll be talking through some of the back-end changes that'll be coming to Destiny 2 on November 10th. To guide us through this process, we're passing the mic to the Destiny Engineering Director, David. He says that when Destiny 2 launched 3 years ago, we had no idea that in 2020, we'd announce a new trilogy of expansions. At the time, we thought Destiny 2's arc would look a little bit more like Destiny 1, a couple expansions, and then we would release a sequel. Basically, David goes on and talks about how their original vision for Destiny ended up changing, and now that they know they're going to be sticking with Destiny 2, they're going to be making a few changes here and there to ensure that the game can keep on going and basically improve as time goes on without the need of a sequel, at least right now. And so he talks about some technical changes, the first of which he says that they shifted their mission scripting model to run on the physics host instead of the mission host. And he goes on to say what exactly this means. He says that the new scripting environment changed many behaviors in complex ways, and you may see some interesting behavior changes or bugs in pre-Beyond Light missions that were originally built and tested on the previous system. So they're implementing a whole new system here. They said that we've tested these missions heavily and stomped out many of the bugs, but some will undoubtedly slip through, and we'll be monitoring and fixing the remaining bugs over time. And in some cases, these issues were a bit more severe. For example, the Prophecy Dungeon being unavailable whenever Beyond Light comes out, but it will be making its way back into the game sometime December. He also says that one other cool feature that they have with this new system is that we'll now have face-to-face joins in social spaces, so that you can now fire team up with tower friends without the long tower reload. Basically mean that you could be in one tower while your friend is in the other and join into his fire team without needing to go through a loading screen, and you will then be in his instance. So basically faster loading times, being able to do things a bit more efficiently, and overall it's a pretty cool change. Honestly, I really like how Bungie's giving us, you know, insight into the back-end changes that they're doing. Like, I don't know of many companies that go this much into detail about changes that they're making, but I really like it. Moving on from this, they say that they revamped our content building and patching pipeline for speed and install size. So it basically says that due to these changes, Beyond Light will need a full re-download on all platforms, and we know that it might be painful for people with lower connection quality, but to mitigate this, they're going to allow us to preload the DLC 10 hours before it ends up launching. They say that Destiny 2's install size is going to be shrinking by 30 to 40% due to a combination of the unused or replaced content, install size optimizations, and moving some content to the DCV. Destiny 2's install size will shrink to between 59 and 71 gigabytes depending on the platform, so that's really cool. They also say we hope to use these much faster builds to accomplish two things: help us ship mission critical fixes faster when game-breaking bugs arise. Basically that if something huge happens in the game that is really game-breaking, they'll be able to get out a bug fix really quick. And they also say to reduce our overall ship pipeline depth, enabling us to work on Destiny's releases closer to their ship dates so that we can react to fresher information about what's happening in the live game. For example, historically, each of our seasons have had to get deep into production before the preceding of the next season launching, and it's prevented us from reacting to learning things from the preceding seasons. These tech improvements should give us around 1 to 2 more weeks of flexibility on a seasonal scale, so that is actually pretty cool. They also go on to talk about how they're redoing the character face system, and I'll just show this on screen really quick, but basically what he's saying is that they're going to add a bunch of new customization options and basically rebuild the character customization from the ground up, and probably allow us to re-customize our Guardians at some point, which I think is pretty cool. Not exactly the biggest, most needed thing, because I wear a helmet all the time, but I think it's pretty cool to be able to give us more customization. And then the last thing that they talk about is how they've relit a lot of portions in the EDZ and Nessus, and they said that there's going to be different lighting on existing destinations. These changes are intentional and are meant to bring the visual quality of these spaces up to the current lighting standards while providing a fresh coat of paint for some of the year one locations. So basically making the EDZ and Nessus look a lot better. They then move on from this and talk about a bunch of new community emblems, so you can see fashion show emblems, featured artists, movie of the week, Bungie bounty, all the community stuff that Bungie does. They also go on and show off some of the volunteer emblems, people that help out on the Twitch channel or maybe on Bungie forums and stuff. So they have the mentors, ninjas, and the shields emblem as well for people that want to help out in the community. They end up ending off this TWAB, and they say that Festival of the Lost is on the way. It's almost time to get spooky, so stay tuned for tricks and treats because they will be coming soon. So I'd imagine that the next TWAB that releases, we will be getting some more information about Festival of the Lost. And if you guys haven't seen my video already of me covering the Festival of the Lost information, definitely check out the card on screen. Aside from this, we have some stuff outside of the TWAB that we can talk about. First up, we have Prime Gaming. So this is the new Prime Gaming bundle, the Colony grenade launcher, as well as an ornament for it, as well as a new Sparrow and a ship, as well as DMG, which is the community manager, giving us some information on when we will be seeing Transmog. And this is the last bit of information for this video. There was a response on Twitter that said any TWAB soon discussing transmogrification. DMG ended up saying this: probably won't be talking too much about this until Beyond Light. We don't currently have an ETA on when this will be available, but what I can say is that the team is in the planning stages and that they're invested in creating a good experience here, and I'll get you details when I can. So of course, a lot of people wondering about Transmog, which basically allows us to make our player look any way that we want with any armor set in the game, no matter what. Definitely a huge thing for customization in Destiny, and a lot of us have been waiting for a TWAB covering this information, but we probably won't be seeing it until Beyond Light comes out. So for those of you guys that have been waiting for a TWAB with that info, just know that it's going to be coming sometime after November. But guys, that is pretty much it for this week at Bungie and my video covering all the information that I could. Coming up this weekend, probably around Saturday, I will have a pretty big video similar to my previous Beyond Light preparation video on legendary weapons. I will have an exotic weapon video out, kind of like a top 5 for many of you players that are trying to prepare for Beyond Light. I do have a pretty spicy video coming up. But guys, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you liked it, dislike if you did not, subscribe if you're new, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you all next time.